Now, one of the most interesting characteristics of this chart is not something that we've looked at on this channel before. So let's take a look. There are certain configurations, we call them, of the astrological planets. But let me go back for 1 second. Whenever I do a chart for somebody who hasn't seen their chart before, when they ask me to work on it with them, one of the questions they often have is, why are there places in my chart that are completely open and all of my planets tend to cluster in one place? Well, one of the reasons for that is because when you're dealing with the sun, there are certain planets that can't go too far from the sun. One is Mercury and one is Venus. So you will often find the sun conjunct Mercury or conjunct Venus, or all three of them together in a stellium, not far from each other. That happens often. And so you may find that it seems like things are all clustered. And of course, there are clusters of other planets too. But there are certain astrological configurations where we see the planets laid up in a certain way, and it gives us extra hints. And so when we're doing a chart, if one of those configurations comes up, it's important to mention it. Now, I've got to be honest. Most people do not have a chart configuration. There are 9 or 10 generally accepted chart configurations. And if your chart doesn't have one, that's okay. Some charts do. Some charts, like Muhammad Ali's chart, for example, has several different configurations that it could possibly be, and astrologers love to argue over which one it is. But I want to show you how this manifests in the chart. And I'm going to make a line that shows where all the planets are. So this chart has all of the planets within 120 degrees. To have all of them in that tight of an area is a big deal. And we actually have a word for this. We actually call this chart a bundle. When all the planets are within 120 degrees, when they're all clustered in one area of the chart, we call that a bundle. Now, the bundle is something that is important to point out, because the bundle brings a focus to the personality. It really does. It makes this person very intense. It makes them very focused. It can make them very specialized. On the negative side, it can also make people very obsessive. And because this person's energy is so focused in one area of the chart, other areas of the life may not get the attention they need. Just how it happens. But as you can see, the focus of this chart is very much here, right? We have 5 planets in the 7th house, 2 more in the 8th, 2 more in the 9th, and 1 over here in the 11th. So this is a person who is very, very focused and specialized. And it doesn't mean that the person only has one set of talents, but it means that likely they're going to have a singular focus in life. And luckily with Ryan Gosling, we pretty much know what that is. But this is a bundle chart. As we do more charts and we get more comfortable with talking about them, I will make sure that if there are any chart configurations, I mention them, because there are 9 or 10 of them. There's the bucket, there's the wedge, there's the locomotive, there's the splash. They have all kinds of different names, and they all represent different configurations of the planets in the chart.